Welcome, this is Yvonne Davis, and this is another session of Unleash Your Creativity, a combination of The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron and Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. So today I am following up on the video that David and I did about archetypes, and want to talk a little bit about how to invoke or embody an archetype. Now, this is fairly complicated stuff. In fact, this is probably the most complicated video that I have made in this program to date. So if you're not completely understanding this, don't be surprised. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment boxes below and I'll do my best to address them. So I'm just going to give you a basic overview or introduction to how to invoke and embody an archetype. So the first thing you want to do is choose your archetype and an example of the archetype. Now, a lot of people are not going to understand what that word means, and I tried a little bit to explain it in the last video. And if you're curious, you can also, like go on Google or Wikipedia or something like that and try to get some more information about what is an archetype. But generally, I'm talking about hero types of archetypes, so that they are very empowering. So what you're looking for are people, or they can be characters, like they could be mythical characters, fictional characters, they could be real people, people who are living today, people who lived in the past, as long as they are embodying a certain kind of energy that you're looking for. And that might be something like they're very inventive, they're strong, they're courageous, they are self-empowered, they're confident. It can be all kinds of different qualities. Maybe they're nurturing, so different qualities that you might be looking for. So as I was thinking about this video and which people or characters I would like to emulate, I came up with 3 of them. So I will show you in a moment who those are. And so one of them that I chose was Dr. Louise Banks from the movie Arrival. So I'll show you a little clip of her. And then I also chose The Martian. The character's name is Mark Watney. It's played by Matt Damon in the movie. And then the third was Jennifer Lawrence, because she just seems so incredibly confident, in my opinion. So the next thing you want to do once you've chosen your archetype, and like I said, there may be more than one example, you want to fill your mind with images and stories of that archetype. So as an example, I watched Arrival and I watched The Martian and a few interviews by Jennifer Lawrence. But you want to be in really relaxed state, almost hypnotic, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to imagine what it would be like to be that person. That's how one of the ways that you can invoke that archetypal energy and begin to embody it. So I will show you some examples here that I have up. So this is The Martian. I'll just play a quick clip of this. I don't have any sound, but he's alone out there on Mars. He's been left behind by his crew, and he has to figure out how to survive. Oh, he has a few problems, but he never gives up. That's what I love about this character. He is so plucky and determined. He is so courageous, and he just never gives up, even though he's in incredible, difficult circumstances. He's all alone on Mars. He doesn't know if he's going to survive, but he's doing everything in his power to survive. And both the movie and the book really impressed me. They're both high quality products, but really it's the character, Mark Watney, that impressed me so much. He never gives up no matter what happens to him. He just keeps keeps trying to survive. So that's like a little trailer for you. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that for the moment. Okay, and then I'll show you also a little clip from Arrival and Jennifer Lawrence interview. So I'll give you the fourth step, which is to, okay, like I said, while you're absorbing this information, and it can be anything, like it could be video, audio, reading a book, looking at images. You can even imagine it in your own mind. You could even create like an altar, like a 3D altar or something like that. So, but you just want to do so while you're very relaxed so that you're almost in a hypnotic state. And then step 5 is you need to create a conducive environment for doing this invoking work. In other words, you want to be able to take a certain amount of time to really focus on it, and you don't want any interruptions because that will interrupt the process. Step 6, I suggest that you start by taking a shower and cleaning the space that you want to use for this process, because you really want to clear yourself of any and all worries and concerns from the day. Just put that all aside, clear your mind completely so that you can totally relax and stay focused. And 7, you can also add music to this, because music is also, it also will help to enter the subconscious mind, and that's what you're really trying to do, is you're trying to reach your subconscious mind, because your conscious mind is the one that will block this information. It'll tell you, you know, like, oh, why are you watching this movie? You're not like that character. What are you thinking? You know, and the critic comes up and tries to tell you this won't work. And what you're trying to do, that's why it's so important to get into such a relaxed state where you will not be disturbed, is because you're really trying to get that that feeling down into your subconscious where it can actually do its work. That's why music can be so effective. In fact, any of the senses that you can activate will be effective. So visual, sight, anything you can look at that invokes that archetype. So sight, sound, music, sight, sound, taste, even, yeah, you can even eat something. You want it to be pleasurable because you want it to have positive associations. So sight, sound, taste, touch. So you want to be very comfortable, so that all the things that you're feeling will also invoke that archetype. Smells, like if you want to burn some incense or perfume or oils or something like that. And then, let's see, that'd be sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. So basically any of the 5 senses that you can activate will be helpful as well. And 8, you can write in your journal while you're doing this. So if you're very relaxed and you have some thoughts that you want to share on this, you can write those down. 9, you this can also be fulfill your artist state, or the artist's way, because it should be a very playful and enjoyable process. You know, it's not the kind of thing you want to take serious. So it's the kind of thing you want to be very childlike and playful about. Okay, so I'm going to bring up a little clip of the next movie. So let me shrink down The Martian and go over here and open this up. And this is a little clip from Arrival. That's the spaceship she was looking at. Now she's in the spaceship. She's looking at the alien. Like I said, I don't have any sound to go with this, but you can kind of get the feeling of her job is to, she's a linguist, and her job is to try to communicate with the aliens before all-out war occurs. And she's scared, but you know, because she feels like everything's resting on her shoulders, but she's doing the best she can. So I will go ahead and bring that one to a close as well. So I watched that movie and, you know, listened to the music, watched the movie, felt very relaxed. That I want to also help you to understand that this is a process that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, because basically the idea of invoking an archetype is that the energies are out there. Anyone can tap into them. So if there is a certain kind of energy that you want to tap into, like someone who's very studious or very intelligent, very confident, courageous, you know, like I said, Mark Watney is very plucky and determined and never gives up. And if you want to bring those kinds of energies into your own being and begin to embody those energies so that you can live your life that way, it does take time. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. So, but it's a continual process. The more you expose yourself to that archetype on a really deep level and really think deeply about, and like even imagine and daydream what it would be like to be that person. Often what I'll do is, even when I'm in normal everyday experiences, I would ask myself, like, what would Louise, her character's name was Louise Banks, what would Louise Banks do in this situation? Even if it was totally mundane, you know, like I would remember scenes where she's in her house and she's sleeping, or when she is just gets out of the decon shower. So, but the point was to really start to identify with that archetype, to begin to ask myself, how would she think? What would she say? How would she behave? And then when I saw things coming up that were scary, this is when it really becomes effective. When things would come up that were scary, then I would ask myself, what would Louise Banks do? What would Mark Watney do? You know, and a lot of times what was helpful was it just kind of distanced me a little bit from whatever might have felt scary. So maybe I needed to have a conversation with someone that felt really scary. Or, you know, the thing is, in the next video we're going to talk about risks, and this was like a bridge to help you to understand some strategies for overcoming fear so that you can be more capable of taking risks. But because I've been doing these videos and thinking a lot about this subject, I've started to notice, you know, that there are different things that feel risky to different people and at different times. Sometimes talking to a friend about something that's a little bit tender and vulnerable doesn't feel scary at all. Other times it's so scary I can't even begin to form the first sentence. I can't even begin to pick up the phone, you know, so it's just too scary. But the recognition of that is what's important. To observe, to notice that I'm having a lot of fear around that is the first step. So even today when I got home and I knew I had a lot of things to do, one of them was to get the laundry done, and I'm in a new building. I've never been down in the basement before, and that's where the laundry room is. And I noticed I even had fear coming up around that. And the thing about it is I don't judge it. I just notice, oh, wow, that's interesting. I'm having some anxiety about going down into the basement because I've never been down there. But then I thought, but I have to get my laundry done. So, you know, it's like the idea of not having clean underwear is actually a lot more scary than going down into the basement. So I went down there. But that's the thing is, you know, like I can do things that some people might think are way too scary, like even making these videos. I have a friend who is so confident and outgoing, and yet he said to me, oh, I don't know how you can do those videos. I would be so scared to be in front of the camera like that. So, you know, I guess the thing is that we might think that there's kind of a scale, you know, like down here doing your laundry is not scary at all, or talking to a friend about something important, or, you know, public speaking or recording yourself, you know, different ranges, or talking to aliens. or shooting yourself in the face, you know. So there are lots of different things that could be scary, but the point isn't to should yourself, you know, or to judge yourself. It's just noticing, oh, okay, I'm feeling a little bit nervous about that. And just be with it. In other words, don't judge yourself, you know. And if it's helpful, which I think it is, ask yourself what your archetype would do. So I asked myself, what would Louise Banks do? What would Mark Watney do? And it helps to comfort me. It makes me a little bit less scared. So I will show you one more quick video. So this is Jennifer Lawrence, and I like her because she's very confident, and she, you know, just kind of says what's on her mind. Again, I don't have any audio to go with this, but I like that she's just herself. She doesn't try to be anybody else. So you can even see it in her movements. She's so natural. I like that about her. Alrighty, so those are my choices for archetypes. And like I said, you know, you can look anywhere. You can look in mythology, you can look in fiction, you can look in history, you can look at people around you. You know, an archetype is just simply an energy. It's a level of consciousness that any of us can have access to. We can access unconditional love, compassion, nurturing, strength, fortitude, courage, you know, all kinds of different qualities. So you just need to think about what it is, what quality, you know, is it to be brilliant, to be studious, to be inventive, so many different things, creative. So whatever the quality is that you're looking to embody, just look for someone, whether real or fictional, past or present, who embodies that quality. And then that becomes your archetype. So the next thing I do, this was step 10, was to list out, as I was watching the movie, list out all the things that I could observe about her. So she's a mother. This is about Louise Banks. She lives in a house on a lake. She lives by herself. She has a PhD. She's a university professor. She has an office at the university. She continues to behave as if nothing unusual has happened. In other words, she's unflappable. She's a language and communications expert. She's confident in her abilities. She's willing to face the challenges. She's very studious and focused. She's a published author, and she's willing to take risks. So that makes it much more, in a sense, accessible, because many of these qualities, you know, that I described about her, I actually are true about me as well. I'm a mother. I live by myself. I don't have a PhD, but I'm in grad school. I'm working on my master's degree. Let's see. I go to my office every day. I'm a language and communications expert. And then some of these other things, you know, were just qualities about her personality, like very studious and focused. I'm a published author. So by doing that, I realized, you know, the difference between who I see her as being and the person I see myself as being, there really isn't a huge difference between the two. And that helps me to realize that, you know, this is totally possible, that I could be as confident and courageous as she is. And by seeing the similarities between us, that helps me to see that I can, it's not that far away, you know, it's not like we're on different planets. We actually have a lot of similarities already. So then that makes me realize, actually probably not that difficult for me to embody a lot more of the qualities about her that I really like and want. So I hope that that was comprehensive enough that you can understand how to begin with this process. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment boxes below, and I am happy to answer them. So I will leave you with that, and I hope that you will, take this to heart and maybe make it your artist date and play around with that. It could be a lot of fun. So that's it for today, and as usual, I thank you for subscribing to this channel, for clicking like on this video, for sharing on your social media and with your friends and family, and for ringing the bell for notifications and putting your comments in the box below this video. And I will see you tomorrow.